Hello everyone, today we will learn about topic Introduction to Trigonometry. This is chapter 8 of CBSE Max textbook class 10. This is the page 1 of your textbook. The literature on page 1 and page 2 of your textbook explains you the importance of trigonometry. It shows where you can apply trigonometry in your real life situations. We will learn all this shortly. Like all other topics of maths and science, trigonometry is also a very vast topic to learn. Obviously, we will not learn the whole topic in this chapter. This chapter is just limited to introduction to trigonometry. Let's see what trigonometry means. Here is the short definition of trigonometry in your textbook. The word trigonometry is derived from Greek word tri means three, gon means side, and metron means measure. So in trigonometry you are going to learn about measurement of three sides. The three side shape in geometry is nothing but a triangle. So we will learn about measurement of three sides of triangle in this chapter. Let's recall few basics of triangles. What are the types of triangle? There are total 6 types of triangle. 3 based on side and 3 based on angles. Based on side, we have first equilateral triangle in which all sides are equal. Second, we have isosceles triangle in which two sides are equal. And third, we have scalene triangle where no of the sides are equal. Based on angle, again we have 3 types of triangles. First is acute angle triangle. In this, all the angles are less than 90 degree. Second, we have right angle triangle in which one angle is 90 degree. And third, we have obtuse angle triangle in which one angle is more than 90 degree. And again, this chapter is limited to right angle triangles. So we will learn only about right angle triangle in this chapter. Also, the trigonometric relations is limited to only acute angles. That means we will learn the trigonometric relation of only those angles which are less than 90 degree. Now I will draw a right angle triangle. This is my right angle triangle. I will name it as A, B and C. This triangle has side AB, side BC and side AC. And angle A, angle B and angle C. Let us now try to understand what is trigonometry. In this triangle ABC, suppose AB is equal to 5 cm and BC is also equal to 5 cm. So now how we can find AC? We can find AC by Pythagoras theorem. That is, hypotenuse square is equal to one side square plus other side square. Here hypotenuse is AC. One side we can take as AB and other side we can take as BC. So AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Now let us substitute the value of AB and BC. So we can write AC square is equal to 5 square plus 5 square. So AC square is equal to 25 plus 25 because 5 square is 25. Therefore AC square will be equal to 50. So AC will be root of 50. Now how I can find root of 50? For this example, I will just take an approximate value. Tell me what is square of 7? 7 square is 49. That means root of 49 is 7 and 50 is very close to 49. So I will consider this 50 as approximately equal to 49. So therefore I can write root 50, which is actually 7.07, is approximately equal to 7 centimeter. In this example we are taking the approximate value because here the intention is to explain you the trigonometry, not to calculate the square root of numbers. That's why for now just consider AC is equal to 7 centimeter. This you have studied in your earlier standards also, that if you know the two sides of a right angle triangle, you can find the third side by using Pythagoras theorem. In this example, if I don't know side AB also, just I know side BC. So how can I find the measurements of side AB and AC? Obviously, we need some data to find the values of AB and AC. Only knowing BC will not help us to find AB and AC. This time, suppose that I know the ratio of BC is to AC, and this ratio is equal to 0.707 is to 1. Let us write this ratio in fraction form. So we have BC upon AC is equal to 0.707 upon 1. Therefore, BC is equal to 0.707 into AC. Let us put the value of BC. What is BC? 5 cm. So 5 is equal to 0.707 into AC. Therefore, 5 divided by 0.707 is equal to AC, or we can say AC is equal to 5 divided by 0.707. Now I will multiply and divide by 1000 just to simplify the calculations. Therefore, we have AC upon 707 multiplied by 1000. If I now calculate AC, I will get AC as 7.07 centimeter, which is again approximately equal to 7 centimeter. So with the help of this ratio, I have found the value of AC as 7 centimeter. All this you have already studied in earlier standard, that is Pythagoras theorem, by which you can find the third side if you know the two sides, and if you know the ratios, then you can find the values. So where is trigonometry here, or what is trigonometry here? Here is your trigonometry in this ratio. What is trigonometry? Trigonometry is a branch of mathematics which helps to find the measurements of sides of triangles. In this example, I knew just one side, that is BC is equal to 5 cm, and I have found the other side AC with the help of this ratio, and this ratio is nothing but the trigonometric ratio. Let us closely look at this ratio BC is to AC. Here we have BC and AC. What is AC? AC is nothing but hypotenuse. What is BC? Look here in this triangle. Can I say BC is a side which is opposite to angle A? Now what I will do, I will try to relate this ratio with this angle A. So this ratio for angle A is equal to BC upon AC. What is BC here? BC is side opposite to angle A, and what is AC? AC is nothing but hypotenuse. So I can write that this ratio for angle A is equal to side opposite to angle A divided by hypotenuse. In trigonometry, this ratio for angle A is called as sine of angle A. So sine of angle A is equal to opposite side of angle A divided by hypotenuse. This is our first trigonometric ratio. Total, there are 6 trigonometric ratio in this chapter. First we have seen it is sine, second is cosine, third is tangent, fourth is cosecant, fifth is secant, and sixth is cotangent. We will learn about all these ratios in detail, but before that, let us understand why these trigonometric ratios are so important. Now let us try to understand what is so special about this trigonometric ratio, or we can say trigonometry. Before that, I will note down the formula of sine here. Look at this triangle ABC. what I will do, I will draw a line on AB such that it is perpendicular to AB and it will meet AB and AC at point P and M. So this line PM is perpendicular to AB. Now I can see that because of this line PM, two triangles have formed. One triangle is AMP, which is small triangle, and already I have a triangle ABC, which is big triangle. In triangle ABC and triangle AMP, can I say that angle CAB is equal to angle PAM? Why? Because it is common angle. Also, angle ABC is equal to angle AMP because both are perpendicular, that is 90 degree. Therefore, triangle ABC is similar to triangle AMP. Why? What's the reason? Because of AA similarity criteria. As two angles are equal, so the two triangles are similar. And we know the property of similar triangles, that all angles are equal or congruent and the sides are proportional to each other. Therefore, I can say that AB upon AM is equal to BC upon MP is equal to AC upon AP. Now look here, I can take this AC down and MP up, so it will become BC upon AC is equal to MP upon AP. But what is BC upon AC? Look here, BC upon AC is nothing but sine of angle A. So this is also equal to sine of angle A. Therefore, sine of angle A is also equal to MP upon AP. Now look in this small triangle AMP. In this triangle AMP, MP is a side which is opposite to angle A and AP is hypotenuse of this small triangle AMP. So in place of MP, I can write side opposite to angle A, and in place of AP, I can write hypotenuse. Therefore, again the sine of angle A is nothing but equal to side opposite to angle A divided by hypotenuse. Therefore, sine of angle A is equal to BC upon AC is equal to MP upon AP. This shows that sine of angle A of big triangle ABC is equal to sine of angle A of small triangle AMP. That means the value of sine of angle A does not vary with the length of sides of triangle. Whether the triangle is big or the triangle is small, the value of sine of angle A will always remain same. Just for an example, suppose this angle A is equal to 45 degree. So you draw any triangle which is big in size or small in size. Unless the angle A remains 45 degree, the value of sine of angle A will remain same. Now, instead of angle A, if I write angle 45 degree, then the value of sine of angle 45 degree should be constant, and this value is equal to 0.707. So, for any right angle triangle, the value of sine of angle 45 degree is always 0.707. How this value came, that we will see later in this chapter, but it is always same. So this is the important thing about trigonometric ratio. For any right angle triangle, the trigonometric ratio of the given value of angle always remain same. Let us go back to your textbook page. Here they have mentioned that the value of trigonometric ratio of any angle do not vary with length of the sides of triangle if the angle remains the same. Let us see some example how this trigonometric ratio can help us in measuring various distance. We will go back to your textbook page 1 where they have given some examples. Here is the first example of Qutub Minar. if I need to measure the height of Qutub Minar, can I use trigonometry to do it? Suppose I am standing here and I have an instrument that can give me the angle and the measurement from me to the top of Qutub Minar. So I can find the height of Qutub Minar by using trigonometric ratio. We can imagine a right angle triangle like this. Now I know the angle, I know this distance, that is hypotenuse. So using trigonometric ratio I can find the height of Qutub Minar. Next example of river and temple. If I need to find the width of the river, again I can imagine a right angle triangle. Now again with same instrument, if I know the angle and this distance, which is nothing but hypotenuse, then again I can use trigonometric ratio to find the width of this river. So with help of trigonometry we can find those distances which are far away and difficult to measure. Next example. This example is of floating balloon. Again, if I know the angle and this distance between me and the balloon, then I can find the height of the balloon from the ground. Here in all this example we are using trigonometry because it is always easy to measure an angle, and second, there are instruments like laser pointers which can give the direct distance, in our cases hypotenuse. So we can use these instruments to measure height of Qutub Minar or width of the river, or we can say the height of the floating balloon from the ground. However, I would say these examples are not so satisfactory because there are many other ways to find height of Qutub Minar or width of river or height of balloon from the ground, etc. But read this. This is very important. Early astronomers used trigonometry to find the distance of stars and planets from the Earth. These are the applications where trigonometry plays very important role. Because someone can say that I don't like trigonometry, I don't want to use trigonometry to measure the height of the Qutub Minar. Instead, I will go on the top of the Qutub Minar and I will measure the height. But what if I want to measure the distance or the height of the moons or the other stars or planet from the Earth? Can I say that I will climb on the top of the moon and then measure the distance of the moon from the Earth? Obviously not. I need to use such instruments which will give me the angle and the direct distance so that I can get the correct position of moons, stars or any other planet. With these examples, now you can understand the importance of trigonometry and its application. Here we will end our first session of trigonometry. In second session, we will learn more about trigonometry, trigonometric ratio and their formulas. For any doubts or clarification or for any kind of suggestion, kindly comment in the comment section below. If you find this video helpful, then share and subscribe.